Welcome back. Now let's talk about accounts and records. A very small chapter. So basically it provides for some detailing which you should be aware of. One, where do you maintain records? You maintain records at your principal place of business as well as in your additional place of business. If the records are found in any other place, then it is deemed to be belonging to such person. Then the law also provides that if there is some unaccounted goods, then it is deemed to be a supply and GST would be applicable, plus the provisions of 73-74 notice will be applicable. What details are required to be maintained? Outward supply details, output tax, inward supply, ITC, RCM payable, name and address of supplier, name and address of recipients, stock, production records, consumption records. All these have to be maintained. Composition dealer has a benefit that he is not required to maintain details of stock and tax because he does not get ITC. If he maintains his sales information, the moment you key in your sales information, system will automatically calculate 0.5%, 0.5% if you are a manufacturer trader, restaurant 5% total, 10 to a 6%. Works contractor has to maintain all the details for each project, how much was the production material sent to that particular site, how much was utilized for each contract, what was the contractor's duty, how much was the consumption of each of every product should be maintained separately. Agent has to maintain for each principal separately what were the goods received, authorization from each principal, goods supplied on behalf of each principal, records of what goods have been kept in his premise, how much was received, when was it received, when was it supplied, all these details. Warehouse owner and transporter are two special people that even if they are not registered under GST, they still have to maintain records as per GST law. What will a warehouse owner maintain? Goods stored. Basically, whatever goods are being stored, when was it stored, how much was received, supplier wise demarcation of the goods. If there is any inspection, he has to show all the records relating to each supplier and all such details. Transporter, whenever there is movement, he has to maintain details of consignor, consignee, origin, destination, name and address of the person liable to pay tax under RCM, whose goods were received, when was it taken. For each branch he has to maintain such records. And warehouse owner and transporter, even if they are not registered, they have to take a common enrollment number. Unique enrollment number has to be taken by them. And in fact, if it's a transporter who is having a registered place, then in that case he can take a common unique enrollment number on the GST portal. What's the time limit? See, all this comes under section 35, which provides for what has to be maintained. Section 36 provides for time period for which the records are required to be maintained, and the time period for maintaining records is 72 months from the due date of filing annual return. Careful, you'll remember 72 months, but what is important is 72 months from where? From the due date for filing annual return. What's the due date for filing annual return? 31st December. Let's see one example. FY 24-25. It will end on 31st March 25. What's the due date for annual return? 31st December after the financial year, that is 31st December 2025. Add 72 months, that is 6 years, you get 31st December 2031. By this time, you'll have to maintain these records for FY 24-25. Then, say suppose investigation, appeal, adjudication or matter is in courts, then in that case you have to maintain records of that subject matter, not all, that subject matter, for 72 months from the due date for filing annual return, or 1 year from completion of investigation, whichever is later. Once the proceedings end, after that also for 1 year you have to maintain, or 72 months. Say suppose 15 years time is taken to reach Supreme Court and get a decision. So 15 years plus 1 year. You have to maintain for 16 years or 72 months from due date, whichever is later. And can you maintain electronic records? Yes, it should be properly backed up plus digitally signed. Only then electronic records are allowed to be maintained. Clear with this? So very small chapter, but go through it once to see the points which can be asked in the form of theory or case study based. MCQs can have some MCQ related to annual return. See you all in the next video.